solving a two-step equation with integers. This is not going to be very much different than anything that you've done before. The kind of interesting thing is we have some negative numbers thrown in there, but other than that, this is just what you've been doing all along. So we're trying to solve for u. We want to simplify our answer as much as possible. I like to draw a wall, I call it a wall, underneath the equal sign to make sure that I'm doing something on each side of the equal sign and not maybe just on one side. So I've drawn my wall in underneath the equal sign, and I know anything I do on one side, I have to do to the other. I want to get u by itself, and this minus 7 over here needs to go away before I can deal with the 2 underneath the u. So to get rid of a negative 7, I'm going to add 7 to both sides. The 7s will cancel, and the u over 2 is left. Negative 11 plus 7 is going to give you negative 4. Now, you can do that in your head, or you can use your calculator to get that number, but either way, the answer there is going to be negative 4. So we have u over 2 is equal to negative 4. To get rid of the 2, if it's underneath the variable, so if it's in a fraction underneath the variable, you want to multiply both sides by 2. That will cancel out those 2's. So now we have u is equal to negative 4 times 2 is negative 8. So we have u equals negative 8 as an answer. To check your work, you can always plug this number in to the original equation instead of u. So it was u over 2. I'm going to put negative 8 over 2 minus 7 equals negative 11. Negative 8 divided by 2 is negative 4. Negative 4 minus 7 equals negative 11, and yes, it does. Negative 11 is equal to negative 11. We got the same answer on both sides of the equal, which means that that is the correct answer to this problem. I'm not going to check every problem, but I always want to remind you that you can check your answers, and that's one of the most beautiful things about math is that you can do that. Okay, let's do another example. 24 is equal to 3y plus 6. So I'm drawing myself a wall here. I can't get to the 3y until I've taken care of the plus 6 first. I'm not worried about the 24, I'm worried about getting 3y by itself. If it's plus 6, I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to subtract 6 on both sides. That will cancel those 6's out. 24 minus 6 will give me 18, equal to 3y. Now in our previous problem, let me scroll back a page, we had u over 2, which is why we multiplied both sides by 2. Here it's not y over 3, it's 3 times y. So to get rid of the 3, you're dividing both sides by 3. That's going to cancel out the 3 there. 18 divided by 3 will give you 6. So your answer is y equals 6. Let's go ahead and do one more example here. So I have negative 8 plus 2w is equal to negative 14, drawing a little wall here. I want to get 2w by itself. I want to get the variable by itself. That means I need to take care of a negative 8. I want to do the opposite sign, so if it was a negative 8, I'm going to add 8 to both sides. If it were a positive 8, I would then subtract 8 from both sides, just the opposite sign. So the 2w comes down. It's equal to negative 14 plus 8 will give me negative 6. This 2w, we want to get the 2 away from it. To get rid of the 2, we're dividing by 2. If you divide both sides by 2, my pen went away, there we go, you'll get w equals negative 6 divided by 2 is negative 3. So w equals negative 3 is your answer. So what you're looking for here is getting rid of that extra number part by either adding or subtracting, and then depending on what you have here, if it's 2w, you end up dividing by 2. If it were w over 2, then you would multiply by 2 like we did in this first example here. And that's all there is to this.